Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Mama Robin. For those who have been here before, you know that. And for those who are new, welcome. I've been doing a series called My 11 Years with a Psychopath because I was married to someone for 11 years that I believe was a psychopath. Now, first of all, let me reiterate by saying I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. And if you know somebody that need, and I'm not taking this lightly. If you know somebody that needs help, I'm sorry, I'm having all kinds of problems today. This might not have been a good day to do this. If you know somebody that needs help, or you think you might need help, then please, by all means, get your professional help. And I am not a medical professional. This person may not be a psychopath, but based on what I know of them, I believe I was married to one for 11 years. Very toxic. So I've done 3 previous videos, and today's part 4. And today we're just going to cover 20 signs of a psychopath. See? The article? That's what I'm reading from. 20 signs of a psychopath. Many psychopathic people are pathological liars. Whoops. Hold on, let me go back. Let me start over. What is a psychopath? There we go. That's where we start. Psychopaths are people with severe form of antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, a serious and chronic personality disorder. All personality disorders interfere with a person's mood, thinking, decision-making, and behavior, as well as affect their ability to function, interact with others, and maintain close, healthy relationships. Both sociopaths and psychopaths describe individuals with more severe forms of APSD, but psychopaths represent the more severe and dangerous form of this personality disorder. Psychopaths often engage in criminal, cruel, or socially irresponsible behavior, including lying, stealing, even being violent or abusive towards others. Because psychopaths have no empathy for the feelings, needs, or rights of others, they also feel no remorse, even when their actions harm others. Because of their combined traits, psychopaths are more likely to engage in crime, violence, abusive behavior towards others, in forms of cruel or dangerous behaviors. 20 signs of a psychopath. Many psychopathic people are pathological liars, master manipulators, which can make it much more difficult to spot the signs of a psychopath. Psychopathic traits and characteristics often become more obvious when you have had frequent interactions with a person, at which point the symptoms of psychopathy may become more evident. Because I was married to him for 11 years, and at first I would have had no clue. He seemed normal like anybody else. It doesn't happen all at once. You don't wake up one morning and say, oh, I'm married to a psychopath. It's gradual over the years. We're going to go ahead and cover the first one today. Superficial charm and charisma. My ex was very guilty of that. That's how he got me. He was very charming, charismatic. That's how I've discovered I'm friends with people that I didn't know till I met him that were his friend. But now they want nothing to do with him, and they're my friend because they realized what I was going through, and they've tried to help me get away from him, and they support me now while I'm, still away from him, but trying to deal with everything I've been through while living with him. He was very charming. He was very charismatic. He had a way of making you want to be his friend. And I'm going to be really honest, and this is incredibly shallow of me, and I know that, and I'm admitting it. He was very good looking. So he was good looking, he was charming, he was charismatic. He was everything I was looking for. I was in a bad marriage at the time. He came at the right time. Like I said, he was charming, charismatic, swept me off my feet. And then over a period of time, it kind of wiped off. So, like I said, charming, Psychopaths can be very charming, charismatic, persuasive people. They can, especially so with female psychopaths who are more social and emotional than their male counterparts. While they lack true empathy, they are often very skilled at faking prosocial behavior like flattery, kindness, false sympathy. They may use skills to get things they want from people, but eventually they aren't able to keep up the act. Over time, the charm, the charisma will probably wear off, unmasking an underlying coldness or cruelty. And that is exactly what happened with him. He started out very charming. He was very charismatic. He was, like I said, he was everything I was looking for. He swept me off my feet. He made me believe in him. He made me want to be with him. And here's the thing, in the back of my head, I had those little warning bells from the first conversation, and I put them aside. I said, no, this is just you being paranoid, because I was in a bad marriage at that time when I first met him. He was dating a friend of mine. He was ending that relationship. I was in a marriage that was ending. He kind of came into my life at the right time, and I think he selects women that he thinks are vulnerable and easy. Like in my situation, I was in a bad marriage. I don't know if they know they're psychopaths. I don't think they do know it. I don't think he realizes he has a mental problem. I think he believes that everybody else is crazy. He's fine. But he is very charming and he is very charismatic. And that's how he gains the friends and lovers that he gains, through charm and charisma. And then after a while, that mask wears down and people start seeing that person for who they really are, like I did. But by that time, I was trapped in marriage with him. He had isolated me away from my friends and my family. He moved me from where I'm from in Missouri to where I'm at now in Texas. And in that, he isolated me from friends and family. He kept a close eye on me. He monitored who I talked to and what I did, but he didn't do it in a way that made me feel like I was in a prison. He had a way of doing it to make me feel like he was looking out for me. He wanted my best interest at heart. He wanted me to believe that he wanted my best. That's part of it. That's part of what they do. So this is how this happens. This is what they do. He is very charming. He is very charismatic. He's lost friends over the years. I've been with him. I was with him for 11 years. This June would have been 12 years. My kids knew there was something wrong with him before I did, and they kept trying to tell me. And I just was thinking, no, he's the stepdad. You think he's trying to replace your dad, and blah, blah, blah. And I wished I'd listened to my kids. Oh my goodness. But by the time I was here, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I was stranded in Texas with my children and a psychopath. And my kids got out as quick as they could, and I got out right after they did. Because once I realized there was a serious problem, and once I realized that he's going to end up hurting one of us really badly, I was already there with my kids, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I had no money. He wouldn't let me work. When I could work, he wouldn't let me work. And then when I had to have both my knees replaced and couldn't work anymore, then that was different. Once my kids were old enough to move out, I started looking for a way to get out, and I did. And I've covered that topic in previous videos, how I'm in an apartment of my own now. I've made big steps to ensure my safety away from him. Now, we do live in a small town, and unfortunately, I still run into him from time to time. But I don't engage with him. I don't have anything to do with him, because I know he's dangerous. And here's the thing. I tried once to warn a girl what he was like, and she treated me like, oh, you're just a jealous ex-wife. I don't trust you. I don't trust anything you're saying. He's a good guy. She knows better now. Now she's one of my closest friends because I saved her. Or I tried to. And fortunately, she was smart and realized it a lot sooner than I did. Anne wasn't trapped with him. She had a place of her own. She wasn't living with him yet. She would spend a lot of time in his town, and her kids were grown. So she wasn't trapped with him. I was kind of trapped with him. I had to make sure my kids were safe and secure while I was living with him, and then get them moved out on their own. And then once they were out, I left. But yes, superficial charm and charisma. He was very charming, very charismatic. Now, that doesn't make him a sociopath, a psychopath, or a sociopath. But as we go through these 20 signs, and that was number 1, I will explain why he fits that category. And I'm willing to bet out of 20 of these, I'll bet you he has 15. I mean, I don't know yet, but I'll bet you he does. Anyway, it's a short video. Like I said, in the last video, I had out-of-town guests. Then I got very sick. I ended up in the hospital. I've been recovering, and I was doing my videos on Sunday evening. I'm going to do them on Monday afternoons. I might switch back to Sunday evenings. I'm not sure yet. I'll know more by this Sunday. Right now, it could be Sunday evenings, Monday afternoons. Kind of look for either day. I might switch on and off until I find a good time for me. But I'll be back next week. I'm going to put one of these out a week. And each week, like this week, we covered number 1, superficial charming and charisma. Next, and I explained why he fits that category. I can give you a quick example. I've got a few minutes I want to spend, so I can give you a quick example on, because it wasn't just charismatic. He made you feel bad for him. We were dating, and it was Father's Day was going to be the next day. And I said, well, what are you going to do tomorrow? And we're talking on the phone, and he said, well, I don't have any plans. And I knew he had 2 daughters of his own. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't have any plans? Tomorrow's Father's Day. Aren't you going to see your kids? No, my kids don't want anything to do with me. And I said, why? Now, that should have been a red flag, but there could be a million reasons why. He said, well, my ex-wife turned my kids against me, and now they don't want anything to do with me. Well, I know that happens. So that was a believable thing. So I said, so you're not going to do anything? He said, no, I'm just going to stay here alone at my place by myself all day. And I felt really bad. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll spend the day with you tomorrow. And he said, well, what about your husband? This was back before him and I were dating. This is back when, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Anyway, it's my child. Didn't know I was making a video. I probably should have warned her. Anyway, so I said, what about your husband? I said, well, tomorrow's Father's Day. And I was going through a divorce, so I didn't have any plans on spending the day with him. What about your husband? I said, well, him and I are going through a divorce, as you know. And I said, my kids can spend the day with him. I don't have to. I'll spend the day with you. And I did. And it was the very next day, after Father's Day. I spent the entire day with him from like sun up to sundown. It was the very next day that he wanted me to be his girlfriend. But I felt like he needed somebody. And then come to find out, his kids didn't spend any time with him because they, in their words, felt like their father was abusive. It had nothing to do with the ex-wife turning the kids against him. Now that I've been married to him, or was married to him for 11 years, and I got to know his kids, now I know why they didn't spend Father's Day with him. He's had so many people in and out of his life in 11 years. People that he calls his best friend or dear friends that are friends with him for a little while until the charisma wears off. And then they distance themselves. Or people he does construction. He'll hire a couple guys to work for him. And at first it's all fun and games until they see his real side. And then they won't work for him anymore, and he can't figure out why. Why? No. How come people hate me? What's the matter with me? And then when you tell him what's the matter with him, he's like, I don't do that. I'll let you don't ask me then if you don't want to know. Yeah. But it's happened to him, and I've watched it over the years. I've watched so many people go in and out of his life. So many people that start out liking him and then eventually realize, wait a minute, this person's kind of fucked up. So with that being said, yeah, it is superficial. It does wear off. They can't do it forever. That's trait number 1. And he falls in that category. So next week we'll just go into trait number 2 and we'll go from there. So like I said, as I said, my name is Mama Robin. I'm doing this to help people. I'm not making light of people with mental illness. I'm not making light at all. If you got help, or if you've got problems, or you know somebody that has problems, or you think you need help, or you think someone else needs help them get their, you get your help, or you help someone else get their help. Because mental illness is real. It's nothing to make light of. And I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just an ex-wife. But if I can help one person realize that they're in a bad relationship, or that they need help, either because they're that person that is the psychopath or they're with one, if I can help one person get help, I feel like these videos are doing some good. So remember, I'm Mama Robin. I want everybody to have a beautiful and blessed day. I will see you all either Sunday night or Monday afternoon. And as always, peace out.